just to start off, it's a pretty strange time currently. How are you handling this situation and keeping yourself safe?
So I actually feel pretty fortunate because I've been used to this lifestyle in the past. I've lived the past 2.5 years with a compromised immune system, and there were points where I had no white blood cells. So, I had to isolate. I had to be kind of a bubble girl and, hand sanitize diligently, try to wear a mask as much as possible. So I'm going into this kind of already used to it. So that's been my advantage.
And then, as seen on the show, you have, as you just mentioned, a very serious health condition that puts you at risk. What advice would you give to others who are quarantining for maybe this is all new to them, this is like the first time they're trying to protect themselves in a way that you have been having to do for your life?
I think this whole situation is making people really empathize more with the elderly and with people who have chronic conditions that put them at risk. I think people are realizing that it's not just about their health and about protecting themselves, but it's, about protecting and looking out for the people who are the most at risk. So, and I also think it's great that people are now adopting better hygiene habits. So, there is a silver lining to all of this, I believe. And hopefully this doesn't last very long. People just have to tough it out for maybe a month or two. And hopefully after that, we start seeing some results and cases going down.
And then what are some of the things that you've been doing while in quarantine to pass the time? Maybe shows that you've been binge watching?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think that I, along with everybody in this country, has binge watched Tiger King. It is so crazy. I think it's the only thing that could match the craziness of what we're going through right now. Also, now is a great time to start binge watching all of the seasons of 90 Day Fiancé if someone hasn't already. There's literally so many seasons. I have been doing puzzles. I have been watching TV shows that I've been meaning to watch or catch up on that I haven't. I am going to try to pick up another language. I am going to try to learn French. I have been filming videos for my YouTube channel. I've been taking photos of myself. I also think it's pretty important for like mental health to not become a total couch potato. So maybe take a walk if you can. If there's like a state park nearby that's not too crowded, go for a walk in the woods, go out into your backyard, get yourself up in the morning, do your hair, do your makeup, get dressed, because if you feel like you look good, then you'll feel good inside too.
And then jumping to 90 Day, what has it been like for you watching this season back?
It's been very entertaining. This season is so fun. I love the other cast members. They all have really hilarious and crazy stories. Watching myself, it can be a little awkward and cringy because I'm just judging myself so hard and kind of face palming myself a bunch. Like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? And then why did I make that facial expression? So it's been very self-reflective, a little awkward and weird, but overall pretty entertaining.
What was going through your head the very first time that you met Erika?
I was so nervous. I was, first of all, exhausted because I had just flown all that way. Terrified, simply terrified. I think the main thing in my head was, is she going to find me attractive? Because getting off that plane, I felt so crusty and gross, and I, did not look my best. And it was not the way I had envisioned my perfect meeting with this perfect girl. And yeah, I think I was a little bit self-conscious and worried about how she would like perceive me. Do I look like my photos? Am I a catfish? So yeah, definitely nervous, but within an hour, that nervousness subsided a little bit and we clicked and we were talking and laughing just like we had when we had a relationship online.
I know before you had mentioned, you said catfish. as we're watching this season, one couple that seems like they might not work out in the end is David and Lana. What's been your reaction watching their story unfold?
Oh, well, I thought you were going to say Yolanda and Williams. I don't know. I think I am in the percentage of people who has such great hopes for Lana and David. I just feel like she's real and that she's going to end up showing up at some point, and 90 Days is going to throw some like massive bombshell on us. Like, I bet they're married right now.
That would be an epic plot twist, to say the least.
I hope so. Because David seems cool. I really like him. He's just like a chill dude who rides a unicycle and wants to get an RV and travel the country with his Eastern European beau. And I relate to that. I want to retire and get an RV too. So.
And then speaking of other cast members, are there any cast members that you've kind of connected with and become friends with?
I think we're all, really friendly with each other. Everyone's super nice and supportive. A lot of cast members have reached out and said, hey, if you need anybody to talk to, or if this gets too crazy, like, we know what it's like. We've been there. We've been through it. So don't hesitate to reach out. Everybody in our current season has been super great. And, it's been nothing but good.
And then what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you being on the show? Something that maybe is not what you were expecting?
I was not expecting such a heavily invested fan base. I have watched 90 Day Fiancé in the past, on and off throughout the years, and I loved the show, but I never realized like how many fan pages and forums were dedicated to talking about this show. But I understand why, and I think especially more so now than ever, because people are self-quarantined, they're at home, they're really tuning in now.
And then speaking of like the fans, what has been kind of the fan reaction or feedback that you've been getting?
So I have made the mistake of going on some of the forums where people will gossip about the cast members. And of course, people have not so nice things to say. Like, apparently I have a really annoying voice, which now in hindsight, after rewatching my footage, I probably do. People can be brutal, but I will say I'm so lucky that none of that hate has really trickled into my social media. So when I open up my DMs on Instagram, it's nothing but like love and support, people asking me questions about my disease, and it's been nothing but great on that. So I think now I need to focus more on just the love that I'm receiving and try to tune out the not so nice comments, because we have this tendency as humans to just focus on the bad, right? You'll have 100 good comments and one bad one, but you'll focus on that really bad one. So I'm trying my best to focus on the good, and yeah.
And then what advice would you give to couples who are wanting to be on the show maybe in the future?
My advice to future couples would be to really take everything into consideration. Sometimes public scrutiny on a relationship can do a number on both of you. And, rewatching certain scenes and interviews, it can be tough on a relationship. So make sure that the relationship has a solid foundation going into it, because it's a challenge,
And then I know you mentioned that you had watched past seasons of 90 Day Fiancé. Who are maybe some of your favorite couples from some of the past seasons?
I really like Darcy and Tom. I like their dynamic. They're both very interesting, funny people. Who else? Annie and David are, of course, amazing, hilarious. I love their chemistry and their sense of humor. I also really I like literally so many. I can't even tell you who, but they're all really good. I also really like Colt and Larissa. As explosive as they were certainly entertaining.